I mean, I'm not going to go away. I'm going to use my God-given voice to talk about the things that are important for me. I'm just asking to be left alone, or at least just report the truth.
Believe it or not, that video was taken 3 days before she got fired from the Daily Wire, where it seemed like she was preemptively giving a farewell speech, as if she knew she was going to be fired. After a few months of making Kanye-esque type statements about those that we don't speak of, like this.
The Diddy lawsuit kind of led me to ask some larger questions about, okay, because I have been feeling like in my heart that something weird's going on with Black media. You know, I'm like, what is this trash that we're trying to sell as good music? This isn't Black culture. I hate that Black people even call it Black culture, because that's like, no, vultures came in and took Black culture, turned it into something else.
Moreover, her, in my opinion, a seemingly reasonable perspective and opinion that she had on the whole situation with Israel and Palestine.
Everything. I think I was pretty even keel. I don't want to see innocent Palestinians killed. I don't want to see innocent Israelis killed. I never want to see children killed. I don't believe children should have to grow up in a war zone based on the actions of a few. And that, I guess, last year sounded crazy. It sounded crazy because always the demand in all these situations is to make people pick a side.
That clearly rubbed Ben Shapiro the wrong way, and then she seemingly was fired by somebody who, according to her, does not have the power to fire her.
So why wouldn't he just fire you?
Well, as I explained on Tucker Carlson's show, like, Ben doesn't have the power to fire me.
Nevertheless, he has more power at the Daily Wire than her, because they had a conflict over those issues, and he's there and she's not. So there's that. So it begs the question, what's next for Candace Owens? And to truly understand what's next for Candace Owens, you got to kind of look at the history of Candace Owens. A lot of people have seemingly forgot or just don't know that she at one point was a staunch down liberal who was making a doxing platform called Social Autopsy.
Words are real. People don't assign, like, there's no humanity behind what they say. They just think it's not real. And that's what technology takes away from children, the fact that it is real. And you would never in a million years say those things.
In March 2016, she spoke about the project. For the last year, I have worked on creating a website, socialautopsy.com, that will stop online bullying by outing the bullies. I create a searchable database of people who spew hate online. I hope it will make people think twice before they exercise their First Amendment rights online as a means to hurt others.
She received great criticism for attempting to make that platform, actually from the left and the right. But the people who really were staunch down and led the charge and basically tried to end her, it was actually feminist. The conservatives who were against her in trying to make this doxing site, they gave her more support in that situation, almost on the concept of the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of deal. We don't like them, so we're gonna bang on them because they're banging on you. It was a lot of political talking head gang banging going on, but at the end of the day, through all of it, Candace Owens ended up going 0 dark 30. You didn't see her for a little while, and then she reemerged back on the internet with this really cringy video titled, "Mom, Dad, I'm a conservative."
Mom, Dad, I'm a lesbian. I like girls. Oh, sweetheart. We always knew. The bottom line, we just want our children to be happy, and we love you regardless. Brave soul. Oh, thank you guys. Oh, also, I think I might be a conservative. I don't understand. I can't breathe. Hey, get that camera out of my wife's face. Get out of my face. Guys, it's totally fine. It's okay. I just, think a little more conservatively. But sweetheart, you're Black. Yeah.
Wait, why was the mom dressed like a 40-year-old corporate executive, strong, independent Black woman that don't need no man? And the dad was dressed like a teenager from the late 90s. Lets us know what you really think about Black men, Candace. I'm just playing, but not really, but I'm mostly just playing. All right. That was the start of her conservative career. And she went all in. And she rose all the way to the top of Black conservative talking head Mount Rushmore. But that shaky Marvel origin story about how and why she became a conservative, it led a lot of people to think that she was faking the funk. But if she was, it's literally the best fake ever. She speaks it so fluently to where she got me fooled. And I was there at the beginning. I remember when she was a liberal. Her switch did seem a bit contrived. It's no getting around that, especially after Trump got elected. And at that time, being a black conservative on YouTube was pretty clickable. Sort of like how it is right now with women doing red pill content for men. There's a viral friendly algorithmic appeal to someone saying something if they're in the demographic that's not supposed to be saying it. But after climbing to the top of that mountain, getting hired by the Daily Wire in 2021, now being fired by them in 2024, it sort of frees her up. It's wide open now. When it came to being a black conservative talking head, she came, she saw, she conquered. Now what's next? I believe the Daily Wire owns this 3 million subscriber platform that she has that does, at a glance, 50 million views per month. I'm rounding down. It's probably more than that. She still has her personal YouTube channel that has 1.47 million subscribers and does 2.7 million views without posting nearly as much. This is the same channel that still has that cringy video, the channel that used to be called Red Pill Black when she first became a conservative. And she has this website that has the tagline that says 100% of your support keeps Candace independent. So she's going independent. And I wonder what is she going to be talking about now that she's freed up from the Daily Wire, so to speak? And that's an important question because it seems as if she's been on somewhat of a Rogue One mission lately. You don't really know what she's on. I mean, she's been saying things like this.
The illiteracy rate in inner cities right now is over 70%. So people think that they're going to public schools to get an education. It's the exact opposite. They are slowly making sure that you're never going to be able to have a proper education, and they're going to tell you what to think. That's what they want. They want the ability of a headline. And that's very scary. You know, I talk about what they did on slave plantations, you know, why we weren't allowed to learn how to read, because they knew that if they could control the narrative, then you could be enslaved forever, right? Your mind becomes enslaved when you can't read, when you say, okay, I learned that in a textbook, but let me read this, you know, and actually see what I think. And I think that's intentional. I literally believe that there is an evil intent to re-enslave Black Americans.
Which is interesting because she spent the last 7 years telling Black people that they need to stop complaining or talking about racism as much and how the system isn't systemically racist against Black people, but she just described and conceded to what would have to be the most systemically racist thing I've ever heard. But a lot of conservatives do that. They acknowledge the racism as long as they could pin it on Democrats. I'm actually guilty of that one too, because I'm a firm believer in Black people do need to quit complaining about racism as much and take advantage of the opportunities that we have here. So in that sense, I am a Candace Owens fan. I'm just a subtle critic because I remember the history. But nevertheless, if she goes independent, I'll probably support. $77 a month. What is that? Is it got to be a lesser? Oh, that was annual. Okay, $7. $7. Huh. Okay, that's more reasonable. I don't know. I'm genuinely rooting for her, and I do believe that it's going to get really interesting depending on which direction that she goes now.